We continue. A good example of such an indigo child is a young Canadian, Ryan. I'm going to try and pronounce his name, I'll probably butcher it. A young Canadian, Ryan Jacques, who in second grade learned from his teacher that there were people in Africa who had no access to water. Oh, I've heard about this kid. He vowed to save money and to make a well for them. He did chores until he had raised the amount needed for a well. By this time, many others had heard about his work and had begun to donate to this cause also. As I write, the 17-year-old, Heriel Jacques' foundation has built 266 wells and is going strong. Heriel Jacques did not ask the government to pay for this. He did not appeal to existing non-profit corporations. He initiated his campaign personally and in time formed his own non-profit organization, Ryan's Well Foundation. Yeah, I've heard about this. He intends to dedicate his life to seeing that all Africans have access to water. Good on him. These indigo children are uppercase players even at a young age. Isn't that an incredible and inspiring story? Indigos are children, however. They still need the guidance of loving parents and friends as they are growing up. The key to working with these sometimes very independent children is to remember that they are vibrating in service to others. Instead of disciplining such a child, it's far more effective to partner with them. If we as parents need our indigo child to be quiet, for example, it is usually not effective to tell him or her to be quiet with no explanation. It is far better to explain our needs, to ask him for help. His veil is thin, he wants to help. He is very ready to give and receive love. And we can follow his example in choosing to dwell in thought within our Green Ray chakras. As we spend more and more time tabernacling with our open hearts, our experience of life will gradually alter, living in a state of remembrance of who we truly are. We shall not be so likely to be caught up by passing difficulties. Our resilience will increase as we get used to dealing with life's little and large catastrophes from the point of view in which, in part, remains always on the uppercase game board. Then, fixed in a heartful atmosphere, we can remain serene and self-confident even as we may vary widely in our immediate surface responses to incoming catalyst. Will this happen to us all at once? Usually not. The known process for spiritual evolution is 2 steps forward, 1 step back. The creation is set up to test our awareness cyclically. Yeah, this is exactly what I've been showing and what my household's been teaching. Once we have pursued and learned lesson of love once, whether it be patience, faith, the right use of will, or whatever that lesson is ours, we will have a 10-minute quiz on that lesson. We uppercase players count upon being tested repeatedly. The Confederation does not promise us any sort of once gained permanent forever enlightenment. Yeah, it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. Their information indicates that we will be worked with our catalyst, improving our polarity and our balance right up to our last breath. It will never be effortless to remain in our open hearts, but it will be increasingly easier to do so. Now, this is what I've channeled before. The catalysts come back round time and time again cyclically. And if anything, they come round harder the next time. But the faster we get and the quicker we get at responding in the right manner, the correct manner, in an open heart manner, in a heart-centered manner, the quicker we will neutralize these catalysts. And then we need to expect the same catalyst to keep on coming back and back and back. Many people say to me in their spiritual quest, I think I must be failing. And I say, why? They say, because the same catalyst keeps repeating over and over and over again. And if anything, it's getting more difficult. The catalyst is getting stronger and stronger every time. I said to them, well, you know what? Then you know that you are on the right path. Because as long as you are reacting to that catalyst in the correct manner, faster and faster, then you will see these catalysts coming and you'll just remember, oh yeah, that's just part of the game. Of course it's going to keep on happening. Of course, like, that girlfriend's going to keep on saying that certain thing to me that annoys me. Of course, even when I get a new girlfriend, that's going to happen even more. and it's not me doing something wrong, it's me doing something right and just getting better at doing that thing right. Okay, to continue. As players, we more and more become ones whose lives wrap themselves in inner remembrance and unconditional love. We shall begin to experience personal heaven on earth. We shall penetrate the veil by the love we experience from the one Creator and by our responses of unconditional love to the Creator and to the creation all around us. Green Ray sexuality. If both vibrate in Green Ray, there will be a mutually strengthening energy transfer, the negative or female, as you call it, drawing the energy from the roots of the beingness through the energy centers, thus being physically revitalized. The positive or male polarity, as it is deemed in your illusion, finding its energy in this energy transfer and inspiration, which satisfies and feeds the spirit portion of the body-mind-spirit complex, thus both being polarized and releasing the excess of that which each has in abundance by nature of intelligent energy. That is negative/intuitive, positive/physical energies, as you may call them. That was a quote by Ra, channeled through LNL Research on February the 25th, 1981. When our attitudes towards our mates are marked by unconditional love, we can enjoy the life-enhancing experience of sexual energy exchange at the Green Ray level. The Confederation suggests that males and females are dynamically opposed and beautifully harmonized in their sexual natures. They agree with Eastern thought in suggesting that the female sexual energy is yin, dark, waiting, accepting, fruitful, and full of the inspiration which comes from containing the ability to gestate new life. They characterize women as having an abundance of this inspirational energy, but having a tendency to lack in physical energy. The male sexual energy is seen by them, as well as Eastern thought, as yang, light, aggressive, reaching, and forceful. They characterize men as having an abundance of physical energy, although they have a tendency to lack in inspirational energy. In Green Ray sexual energy, the two are truly lovers. They love and accept each other for exactly who they are. As they become one physically, they automatically transfer to each other the energies each has to offer, thus balancing both lovers. In this energy exchange, both feel fed, but neither lacks anything, for both have given from abundance. It is in Green Ray sex that they term making love becomes literally true. I recall an episode of the television series All in the Family that touches upon Green Ray energy exchange. Archie and Edith Bunker are husband and wife in the series, played by Carol O'Connor and Jean Stapleton. Edith answers an ad she finds in a magazine, thinking that it is for those wanting to meet their couples and socialize with them. In truth, however, the ad is for swingers. Edith's bewilderment at the other couple's behavior and her growing panic as she realizes what they want of her makes for lots of laughs. At one point, Edith and the visiting woman are talking in the kitchen alone, the other woman undertaking at last that Edith and Archie will not be swinging with her, and her husband talks of finding her marriage dull and flat. She says that the swinging helps them to fill the empty place left by their own boring sex life. Don't you feel that need for more? She asks Edith. Edith replies, when Archie and I are together, it's like Thanksgiving. Green Ray lovemaking is a feast indeed. Once the two lovers are both vibrating in Green Ray, there is tremendous freedom that occurs, Ra says. This is Ra states, it will be noted that once Green Ray energy transfer has been activated by two mind, body, spirits and mating, the further rays are available without both entities having the necessity to progress equally. Thus, a blue ray vibrating entity or indigo ray vibrating entity whose other ray vibrations are clear may share that energy with the green ray other self, thus acting as a catalyst for the continued learn/teaching of the other self. In other words, the Green Ray energy center exchange lifts both mates to whatever level of sexuality either of the mates has achieved. Green Ray healing. The energy which is used is brought into the field complex of the healer by the outstretched hand used in a polarized sense. However, this energy circulates through the various points of energy and passes through the green energy center in a microcosm of the king's chamber energy configuration of prana. This then continuing for the third spiral through the blue energy center and being sent therefrom through the gateway back to intelligent infinity. It is from the green center that the healing prana moves into the polarized healing right hand, and therefrom into the one to be healed. Interesting. That was a rare channeling session through LNL research on August the 12th, 1981. We'll discuss healing more in Living the Law of One 103, the inner work. For now, it is enough to touch upon this subject. I wish to include in this section because there are many people who are natural healers, already known for their healing touch. If you are one of those people, it will be of aid to understand what the Confederation says about how Green Ray healing works. One of the many magical things about pyramids is their healing ability. The Confederation states that this pyramid shape has natural faculties for healing, stemming directly from its geometry. The Great Pyramid of Giza is the best example of this dimensions of such a healing pyramid. This is what I've also been shown, and this is what Dremvalo Melchizedek teaches in all of his teachings, his incredible teachings and channelings. And this is what this is what Thoth also said. You know, Thoth, the Atlantean, the priest king, and extremely high density entity who incarnated on Earth many, many times. He incarnates on Earth every so many 100 years, apparently. I think it's every other 100 years or something like that. And on a regular basis, when humanity reaches a certain level of understanding, we're coming to that level now, where Thoth will no doubt be coming back at some point, and probably in a I'm trying to think of the name now, probably in an avatar body, which he tends to use. Right, to continue. The Confederation states that the love light energy of the Creator is scooped into the base of the pyramid by the natural functioning of its geometry shape and the ratios between angles, heights, width, and so forth. This structure was given to the Egyptians by Ra group as an aid to seeking the law of one. It is interesting to read their description of how they came just enough into the third density realm from sixth density to talk to the material used to make the pyramid and to ask it to form the structure. According to Ra, there was no tools used to build the structure. Ra simply requested of eternal rock that it form into the pyramid, a request that was granted. Just as the Bible says, if you have faith, you can literally move mountains. And this is what I've been shown as well. Thoth and Ra, and you see Thoth, it's interesting, Thoth also claims to be the pyramid builder. From my channelings, what I've been shown is Thoth was a part of the Confederation or the group that built the pyramid. So Thoth was with the ones from Venus when the pyramid was being built and was helping build the pyramid. So it was probably a group effort by the sound of it. Thoth claims that it was him who built the pyramids. He doesn't really mention anybody else in the Emerald Tablets, and but though Ra, or the ones of Venus, claim to be the ones who built the pyramids, but doesn't mention Thoth. From what I've channeled, it was both of them. As a as a group, as a collective. So to continue. This pyramid shape causes the scoop of incoming energy from beneath the pyramid to be spiraled naturally into a point within the lower part of the pyramid. Then it spirals out again into a double teardrop shape. This is rounded shape. This is pointed on both ends. In the middle of this teardrop, the energy passes through what archaeologists call the king's chamber position. I think this is a good place to leave this, and we will continue where we left off in the next section. Namaste.